if you didn't watch the game, perhaps you didn't, don't worry. We watched so you would not have to. I even was at the game. A rare and appropriate appearance as I sashayed my way in the hood in Inglewood and was part of the masses there. I was not wearing my 49er jersey like everyone else, but I was there. Matthew Stafford. He sucks. Stafford's a bum. Bernie Fratto and Rob Parker told me, my colleagues here at Fox Sports Radio. Well, Stafford passed for 337 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have the on-target or off-target interception, but helping the Rams rally back from down 10 in the fourth quarter for a thrilling 20-17 victory. The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat for the 49ers, who leave the stadium with their head down, a pack of losers at SoFi Stadium. And down the stretch, like a horse race, you can be leading a horse race, but down the stretch, you give up the lead, you lose the race. Matthew Stafford outplayed Jimmy G down the home stretch, and it was Stafford, the much maligned quarterback, who hits pay dirt there. So Los Angeles will be the second team to play a Super Bowl in its home stadium. Last year, it was the Buccaneers and Tom Brady, and now it is Stafford and the Rams, and they will take on Joe Burrow and the Bengals in now less than 2 weeks. More on that coming up in a little bit. Plenty of time also to praise the Rams, and you know I've been doing this for a long time, and I believe the better story is in the losing locker room. So even I could sit here and wax poetic about how great the Rams are and how brilliant they are for making all these moves. We all know that's true. But instead, because it's good talk radio, there's a lot of finger pointing going on the 49ers side. You're pointing over there, in the back at who's to blame. So let us discuss the question. You have a 10-point lead. You got everything going for you. So who shoulders the most blame for the 49ers meltdown and ultimately a loss? So my thoughts, I've got the command pilot, the disco, and Mythbusters. And we will tie all of these things together. Now, and we're gonna make a Super Bowl trophy, because that's what's now on the line for the Rams, not the 49ers. So listen, many had dubbed Jimmy G as God's gift to mankind, the low information fan, the dumb fan, right? They read all these stats about Jimmy G, he's the luckiest guy in the world and all this. He's got the Midas touch. And what did that mean? It meant bupkis in this game. That's what I've been trying to say, right? Stats tell you what has happened. They don't tell you what's going to happen. But the dumb fan continues to fall into this trap. And Garoppolo, he's got everything this guy does is great. He touched Tom Brady, as the understudy there, and he learned all of the secrets of Tom Brady with the Patriots and all that stuff. A bunch of mumbo jumbo, right? And I get it. This guy was able to get it done under immense pressure several times over the career there in the playoffs. Although he was not the reason that the Niners are in the NFC Championship game, but they kept telling me he's just a winner. He's a winner. He's more reliable. Garoppolo's reliable. Stafford's not. He had that something special. He had the it factor. Well, in the end, the it factor puked all over the field, right? This trap door. I didn't even see it. I was at the game. I didn't see it. A trap door opened up and then swallowed up Garoppolo. The 49ers turned to Jimmy Garoppolo and said, we need you to make some plays here down the home stretch. And Jimmy Garoppolo looked those teammates square in the eye, and he said, you know what, boys? I'm the command pilot. I got this. And then he got in the cockpit and took a ride on the Vomit Comet, a kamikaze mission late in the game. Garoppolo earning his wings as the command pilot with a performance for the ages in the fourth quarter. Some saying the single worst fourth quarter performance in playoff history. And I witnessed it with my own eyes. Wow. I was like, where did the Niners get Nathan Peterman? That was a Peterman. I mean, that was unbelievable. 3 of 9 for Garoppolo for 30 yards. No touchdowns. Obviously, the Niners didn't score. An interception, and what an interception it was. Oh, man. That was a masterpiece. Garoppolo completed 33.3% of his passes, which is half the sign of the devil. He averaged 3.3 yards per attempt in the fourth quarter, had a passer rating somehow. I had to look at the math on this twice. That Garoppolo's passer rating was 4.1. After the Rams kicked the field goal to take the lead, the 49ers still had an opportunity. Right now, they were unable to nurse the 10-point lead. They got a second chance. They got a reprieve, right? A mulligan. And they would have been better off, though, in the entire fourth quarter if Garoppolo had just spiked the ball on every play. Now, we love bringing this stat up. I bring it up quite a bit because it's a tremendous statistic that if a quarterback drops back and throws the pigskin into the fake grass there on every single possession, it equates to a 39.6 passer rating. Garoppolo was at 4.1. And he finished what is going to be his final pass in a San Francisco uniform under immense pressure with number 99, Aaron Donald, breathing down his neck. And it was this weird sidearm, underhanded, throwing it up, interception. He was Garoppolo anywhere like the 10 to 12-yard line of the Niners, and he just tossed it up, and it ended up going to Trayvon Howard of the Rams. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. So Garoppolo, he gets the biggest piece of the blame pie. Capiche? Now you know why John Lynch took a shot at him on Twitter and also traded for his replacement with Trey Lance waiting in the wings, because Garoppolo will be kicked out of Northern California as soon as possible. And where is he going to end up next? One man's trash is another man's treasure, and Garoppolo will be starting somewhere in the NFL circa 2022 when the new season comes back. Now, part B of this, while Garoppolo gets the big, juicy slice of pie, right, the blame pie, bringing up a close second, just a whisker behind Jimmy G is the entire vaunted 49er defense, the unit that held Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in check. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys were held down. They were incapable of slowing down the Rams' offense in the fourth quarter. Who goofed? I've got to know. Make a few plays, you'll win the game. Instead, it was a trip to the disco. It was panic at the disco. You had Matthew Stafford throw a little lollipop pass up, go right through the hands of Jarkiski Tart, or whatever his name is, Tart, the strong safety for the 49ers. And that was just one of many, many brain farts. The Niners, let me go through it. They were undisciplined. They were unorganized at times. They were befuddled by what the Rams are doing, bewildered by Cooper Kupp, who owns them. And you talk about the unexpected. The Rams had 3 scoring drives late in the game. They had a 7-play, 60-yard drive, a 9-play, 48-yard drive, and a 10-play, 49-yard drive. Now, they had touchdown, field goal. What an alarming collapse by the Niners. They really bought into the hype. They bought into all the rat poison that they owned the Rams, and they were running around, pumping their chest out. They were like a peacock, the 49ers on defense, with their feathers up in the air. It was a demolition derby. Somebody should tell Jimmy Ward it's not the 80s or the 90s anymore. You can't fly in like a torpedo and hit Odell Beckham helmet to helmet. Now, you used to be able to do that. They just called that a good play back in the old NFL. But because of the wussification of the NFL over the years, you can't do it. And most people know you haven't been able to do it in 15 years. Just fly in like a torpedo. But Jimmy Ward's like, man, we're invincible. We're the Niners. We can do whatever we want on defense. Think about this. How embarrassing is this for San Francisco? The Rams lost Van Jefferson and Tyler Higbee, 2 of their better players on offense, right? Secondary guys, but those are guys that get a lot of opportunities mixed in. And they were both knocked out with injury. And still, the Niners got beat by L.A., showing you the depth and the skill the Rams have. And another Kyle Shanahan blooper, right? Remember the Super Bowl? Niners had the lead against the Chiefs a couple years back, blew it. Here's this game, trip to the Super Bowl online. Niners had the lead playing what everyone says is an inferior quarterback and all this stuff. And now the Niners are licking their wounds. The Rams let them in the playoffs, and the Rams send the Niners home losers from the playoffs. Now, the last word here. For the Rams beating the 49ers in the NFC title game, it was scientific. L.A. playing Mythbusters. A wink and a nod to Jamie Heineman and Adam Savage. And wow, each week the Rams attempt to debunk urban legends from brilliant media pundits. And this week it was that Kyle Shanahan is Sean McVay's daddy, and McVay has no chance. I heard that a lot from the dum-dums. The Niners hold the deed to the cheat code of the Rams. 6 straight wins. Yeah, okay. San Francisco, the team of destiny. It's the magical playoff run. There's no way the Rams can handle all that heat from the Niners. A lot of good stories. A lot of clickbait on the internet. How'd that turn out? Yeah. Then you had the 49ers, the hostile takeover. Los Angeles suffering from an infestation. Listen, I was at the game. I'm not going to lie. It was a Niner home game. There was probably 65% minimum 49er fans. It was insane. I've been to Niner games in Northern California. I didn't see that much red as I saw at the Ram game. It was nuts. Supporting their squad. Hey, no disrespect. The Niners have tremendous success. There's generations of Niner fans from the Bill Walsh days back in the Stone Age and Montana and Young and those guys, and they've maintained that. Tons of bright red jerseys. I saw a lot of those cool 1980 Niner gold jackets. That those starter, I think they weren't even starter jackets. I don't know who made them, but in the 1980s, it was a hostile takeover, and it was a home game, as we anticipated. Though those fans were screaming, they were shouting. You had players on the Niner bench waving towels on the road team to get the crowd fired up, and it didn't impact at all the outcome of the game. It had zero impact. The 49ers had the rowdy crowd behind them, screaming and shouting, jumping up and down, and their team, the Niner players, played like choking dogs with all that support. It was a perfect day for Ram fans, and I'll tell you why. Because the Ram fan price gouged the Niner fan, right? Niner fans are paying a minimum $700 plus when you talk about all the fees to get in on the secondary market. Parking. Now, I'm lucky. I guess I'm on a cool list because I got parking. I'm in the media. But $300 to $500 to park anywhere close to SoFi Stadium because the Super Bowl's coming up and they took over the parking lots. The NFL did. And the poor 49er fans, these folks were all dressed up for prom. They were ready to go to the Super Bowl, and now they got nowhere to go. And it's a perfect day for the Rams because the Ram fan got their money. They took the Niner fans' money, and they took the win. And they got to watch it on Fox on TV. Now, meanwhile, but wait, there's a little bit more. Sean McVay helping to validate that he is a coaching genius. These are the glory days for the Rams. 5 seasons now, 2 Super Bowls for McVay, 2 Super Bowl appearances. He's been on the big stage with 2 different quarterbacks, very Joe Gibbs-esque, that stiff Jared Goff, and proving that a trip to Cabo and a chance meeting, at least that's the way the legend goes with Matthew Stafford, turned out to be serendipity, as they are now in the Super Bowl. And all those aggressive roster moves have paid off. We had Stafford, who was El Magnifico, after falling behind by 10 points. He finished the game 14 of 17 for 159 yards, averaged 9 yards per pass after falling behind by 10, and had a passer rating of 125.2 to close the game. Twisting the 49er defense into pretzels. They didn't know who was going to get the ball next. Was it Cooper Kupp? Was it Odell Beckham? And also the Rams gave more direct evidence that momentum does not exist because the Niners had all of it. They had the crowd behind them. They had a 10-point lead. Stafford's a bum. Why would they give the game away if they had all the momentum? Up by 10 points. Oops-a-daisy. Oops-a-daisy.